The kids built a snowman yesterday, and they're trying to build a sledding hill here. It's pretty cute. Look how pretty it is. All right, it is afternoon here. Last night didn't go as planned for me. I had every intention of going back to the ball, and I had to go spend some time with my kids, get them off to bed, and then after they were off to bed, my sister randomly showed up for a visit. So we sat and hung out, had a really good night. It was really nice. And then this morning we've had just a slower morning. Spent some time with the family, and we had a nice brunch, family brunch. And it has been snowing since yesterday. It finally just stopped, but that's why I'm all flushed right now. I just got in from shoveling the driveway, so I'm exhausted. My husband had to run into town with my oldest to go get a birthday present for his friend. And yeah, we are just doing some things around the house still. My brother's on his way over today to help finish getting my mom moved in. So he's going to help my husband with some of her larger furniture that's out in the garage right now to get it into her space because the renos are done. This is my life update for you all. I'm just sitting down. I have about 50 minutes. I'm gonna go into the ball, get some stitching in, and then I have a FaceTime with my kids. Have one scheduled with grandma and great grandma and grandpa. So we're gonna do that, and then after that we will see. I hope to just spend a lot of time stitching. So I think that my brother and husband are going to be busy with all the heavy hauling and setting mom up. So I might get some time in there to do some stitching. We'll see. The kids are going to want to go outside and play again. They were already out there this morning. It is that perfect snowman snow too, so they've been making that like snowmen, and they're trying to build a sledding hill and stuff. It's really cute. It actually is working out really well. So anyways, I did take a few clips for you guys because everybody seems to be loving seeing the outdoors and the weather and the change and all that. So it's very beautiful. This morning woke up and everything it was like that late last night too when we were going to bed, but everything had the clumpy snow stuck on all the branches, so it's like a little wonderland out there. But it's warmer today and things are starting to melt, so shoveling that driveway, that snow was so heavy. Anyways, I gotta get stitching because I don't have a lot of time, but I'm gonna use the time I do have while it's quiet here. So hopefully I'll have a check-in later with what I got done. And that's pretty much all I'm gonna have to share today because I was gonna do a bit more videoing in the morning, but my phone, I forgot to plug it in again, and my camera was down here. All the things, family took a priority, so I'm not mad about it. Anyways, we'll see where we get with these stitches. I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend, and thank you for tuning in and following along on this vlogging journey. All right, I was just going to do some cleanup here, get rid of the stuff on my table, tidy up. Before I do that, I think I wanted to finish off a few of these crafts super quick. So I wanted to do something with the Nutcracker like I did that Santa. I think I'm going to change the coloring on him a little bit. And I think he's too big for on that. But maybe I can do a little display in here. Or on one of my jars. So we're going to do that, and then maybe figure out something to do on top of this spool. This little nutcracker seems to fit a bit better. He's a little taller. So I had this spool that has like this trees on the ribbon, and I thought that would just be really cool to leave as is and then just fill the top up with some goodies, and then I can just put that in a little Christmas display. So we're gonna do that. Got to figure out something to do with this vintage Santa too, because he needs a home in my house. Yeah, so, and then I also had this wooden board that I thought maybe I would just do a quick paint on, and maybe I kind of want to do like a Christmas tree or something in the center. I don't know. I was thinking gold around the edges and then a Christmas tree. I can envision it. Will it turn out like that? We will see. The snow keeps on coming. Look how beautiful those trees are. So pretty. All right, so it is Monday morning. Did I vlog over the weekend? I did as much as I could. I didn't really feel like I had much to share. It was a lot of family time, and I know this weekend was the Jingle Ball, and I was so excited to go to it. I said I was gonna book off the whole weekend from the family. Well, you know, kids, they need you, and I'm okay with that. I ended up spending more time doing family things, which is great. I thought at least I would get my evenings in for stitching. So Friday and Saturday night, I would be able to get in some good after bedtimes. They usually go down around 7:30 on the weekend. Sometimes it gets a little bit more, like 8 for my oldest, but we start around 7:30. So I thought, well, I'll get lots of stitching in. Well, it didn't happen that way because I was stitching with a friend on Friday night, and then they are on the East Coast, so 3 hours ahead of me. So it was time for her to sign off, and I was like, well, this is perfect. It's bedtime for the kids, so I'm gonna go do that. And they were kind of waiting around for me a little, so I was like, yep, this is perfect. Well, I'll go do that. And then we spent some time before bed and then did bedtimes, and then I was like excited to get back down here and get stitching, and my sister showed up. So she would have absolutely understood if I was like, oh, I gotta go, sorry, but she drove out to see us, and I was like, no, we're gonna visit and hang out. So we had a great Friday night, and then Saturday I, you know, still had things going on. It took me almost till the afternoon. I think I was pretty late before I actually finally got on to the Jingle Ball. And then my brother had come in to do some electrical work for us, switch out a couple lights and finish up the electrical in my mom's area. And I was able to hop on for a little bit on Friday, or Saturday, sorry, this is Saturday. But then in the afternoon, I popped off for a little bit, and then my sister came out to visit as well, and then my brother decided to stay longer and visit, and it's just one of those things that just kind of snowballed, and we had a really good time hanging out and just catching up. Nice little visit. So, and then Sunday was a slow start to the day. We had a nice family brunch, and it just did some more stuff and Christmassy things, and I was able to get on for a little bit, and then I had to go, and then I thought maybe I'd get back, but I was so exhausted last night. I was so tired. So I just decided to call it a night. I sat and watched a Christmas movie, and I stitched. I couldn't do much more than just, I was falling asleep. So I was like, okay, time for bed. So it was just too tired. Yeah, but that's okay. That's how how life goes, right? You can plan all you want, and sometimes it just goes an opposite way. But I did enjoy the time I had, and I know I had said like I wanted to finish that the Christmas Bells sampler, but yeah, that was way too big of a goal. I thought I had more done on it before I even pulled it out and saw what I had. So I already, right from the beginning, knew I was overachieving. Now, had I been able to have more of a time to sit down and get like some good quality like evenings, hours in, I would have made some good progress, because I do feel like that stitch goes pretty quick, really. The border's a little fiddly with the leaves and stuff, but not too bad. And then the center's all words, and those usually go pretty quick. So I wish I had more time to have sat and done it. I'm hoping that though somewhere throughout the holidays I'll find some time to sit and just get some stitching done. And then Friday night, I ended up in a room with Amy, who I met at Stitch New England, and she was working on her Autumn is as Joyful, which is a chart that at Stitch New England 2024 last year, it was a chart that we started as a SAL, so a whole bunch of people joined in on it, and I hadn't stitched on it really since that trip. So it was also a year-old kind of project, and she was stitching on it, and I said, I really want to stitch on that too now. It was in the same portfolio as my Winter Bells or Christmas Bells sampler, so I thought I'd pull that out for a bit and stitch with her. I had hoped to get some progress done on it and be able to show it off to her, but I didn't get very much done. So I think I still, I have it right here. So this, I think I might have shared with you guys in one of the other videos. So I did say it's Monday. I'm clipping together what I had from the weekends in one day 6, 7 video for you guys. And I'll get that up. And then honestly, whatever I vlog from today, it might become tomorrow's video. I told you from the beginning I wasn't going to be like necessarily able to do every single, we're just going to see what we can get. So I'm happy. It's not exactly what I would wanted, but there just was not the time to get it all in. And it is what it is. So I do think I showed you guys this before. Maybe I was hoping that there'd be more done. But I did finish, this Quaker had some to stitch in here. And then I started in this half here. So this is a page break here. So I started this part of the Quaker. And then I went and I stitched this part, and I stitched it all wrong, this little chunk here. So I started to work on unpicking that. And then I really just didn't want to unpick it, so I left it. At least I know I need to unpick it because it's like half started. Anyways, I really want to get work done on these projects because I started them for a reason, and I'd love to be able to get them done and up on the wall. So this is Autumn is Joyful by Leela's Studio. This is on an 18 count Ada Pantone from Roxy Floss Co. And yes, it was October 17th, 2024 was when I started it. So like I said, I haven't really gotten that far, but the reason I wanted to move over this way was because there's like some squirrels up in here, and I really want to start working on this part of the chart. So I'm hopeful that I can maybe get some more done on it, and then I can share it again with Amy and be like, I did it. But I'm sorry I didn't get further on it, Amy. When I went back, I found a room, and Chris, the camping stitcher, was stitching on her Christmas Bells sampler because she started the sal from the Jingle Ball last year as well. And so I was pulling that one, like doing the stitches on it, and then she said she was working on this one. So I was like, well, now that I'm stitching with you, I'm going to pull mine out as well. So I did, if you guys remember, I got some more bells in along here, and I finished this whole top row. I got all the little leaves and flowers in that were missing, and then I started on some of the next row of words. So I'm pretty happy with that progress. Is it what I had hoped it was going to be? Nope. But now that I have it out, I feel kind of more in rhythm with it. It took me a while to get back into the project. So that's one thing I've noticed, is that I just, a year to let a project sit is a long time for me. And ooh, knocked that over. I don't love that. So I'm going to try to, like I said, I'm going to try over the holidays. I got, some time set aside for myself and my family. And I think it's really important we take downtime during the holidays and do stuff for ourselves. So I'm going to try to do that and get some progress done on these projects that I just haven't had time to get to. Because this is just so beautiful, and it's got meaning for me. Starting it at the Jingle Ball last year with a bunch of friends, and I would love to see it framed and on my wall for Christmas time. So there's that one. Both of those I would like to get done. So yeah. Don't think I told you all the information on this. I did in another video, but if you are curious, this is the Christmas Bells Sampler by a Heartstring Samplery, and this one's stitched on 20 count Embellish by Atomic Ranch, and I started at the Jingle Ball last year. I changed the colors on it. My greens are 520, 522, and the reds are 355, 356. And then the writing is 3799, and my bells is C738, which is an etoile thread. So it's got a little bit of sparkle there. And for the bells, I actually did end up doing 2 strands. It's a little chunky, but I feel like with one, you weren't seeing it enough. And I did share with you guys all the little, like, I tried all the different types and colors of shiny threads, sparkly. But that's what I ended up going with, which was crazy enough, was like the first shiny sparkly thread I tried. So all that, but it was, honestly, that was a good thing. I went, like, I have all the different kinds of, like, I found what I could, These ones, honestly, they stitch really nice. Besides the toile does stitch up really nice. So I've got a couple different ones of the toile to try. But I liked that. This is it here. 738. It's just a bit, it's a little goldier color. It's not going to focus because, there we go. This is a fluffier thread. I think next time if I were to, I put it out on a floss drop, but I think in future I would probably just work, like pull it from the skein as I go and as I need it, and just keep it in a skein, because it is a little fluffier, and I feel like it's almost getting maybe a little fluffier just being out like this, as opposed to if it was in the skein and you were just pulling. All right, so my battery died there, and that has been the hardest part, is remembering to charge the things. When I'm recording on my camera, it has to be plugged in because it just, the battery is not very good on this camera. Anyways, the last things I was going to share with you guys is those crafting projects that I talked about previous. So I did do a few crafts over the weekend in the little slots of time. Not a lot, because I wanted to do stitching in the ball rooms as much as I could, and I did manage to watch in on a few of the little like meet and greets. So I watched a little bit the one day on Saturday, I believe. So that was nice. They do such a good job of the Jingle Ball, these virtual events, and having all that content there for us. It's a really great thing, and I love that you have access to it for the 30 days after the event. So now you can go back and rewatch those things. So I hope to get in there and do some of that. But the few crafts that I did do, I did finish up when I was trying to clear off that table. I did do one of these. So this is the topper, kind of same idea as what I'd shared with you guys before. I shared in one of my previous videos the little village scenes from the dollar store. So this was one of the little things that they had. And then I added in some of those little trees in a tart tin that I had thrifted. And I just put a magnet on the tin. It's loose on the tin. And that just helps to keep this on here. It doesn't like fully keep it on if you want to tipping it around, but I just thought it would help keep it attached while it sits somewhere, probably above my sink on that display that I'd started but hadn't fully filled in. I think this will probably, I already have, that's where I put the other Santa I did. So this will probably go up there somewhere near. Super cute. Oh, and then in here I glued all these guys into the tart tin, but then I also added in, this is just this is just pom-pom trim. That's what I'm trying to say, pom-pom trim. So I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna cut off a piece of that and shove it in and around and give it more of a snowballs. Yeah, so it kind of just fills it out, makes it look like some snow. I didn't have any like cotton balls or anything like that, so that worked out well. And then I did another one with the Nutcracker. So I did end up painting his coloring a little bit, kind of in the same color scheme as that larger one I did, because I think this guy's gonna look good up top there with the other one. And again, a tart tin. These ones I had bought somewhere. They're gold on the outside, and I just filled it with a couple trees again, put in a little wood stump, and then I put this little sprig of greenery. I did kind of try and paint a little darker paint over that to like, it was that bright green, and I wanted to just dim it down a little bit. Same with the red. It was like they're really bright red, so I did that to kind of give it that aged vintage kind of tone it down. And yeah, I think it's really cute how it turned out. And this guy, I was going back and forth on what to put him on top of. And I think I'm going to use one of these spools. I'm going to leave the ribbon on, and I'm just going to glue that on top of the spool of thread. Later down the line, if I decide I need this ribbon, I will take it off and use it, and then it'll just be on top of a wood spool, or I could wrap some jute around it or any other kind of ribbon I have. So, but for right now, I'm just going to use it as a decorative piece because I honestly have so much ribbon. So that is what I'm going to do with that one. And then lastly is just the little painting that I had done. So this is from Michael's. It's just a raw wood in there. They have the aisle of all their unfinished wood project things, from flat boards to like the jewelry boxes and the little house things. And so sometimes I just pick up the different sizes of these things, and this was one I thought it would look really cool to do something with. And I'll probably get a couple more of these because they are really fun, easy to paint up. So I just did a Christmas tree on there. I added a star, a wooden button at the top there, and yeah, just painted that up. So I thought that might be a cute filler piece for above the sink to kind of fill in that little bit of space that I have. So we're going to add that to that. And these, I think all three of these will go up there. And I did find a couple other, like I had a basket thing that I was going to put up there, and a jug I was going to try. Yeah, so I think amongst this stuff and the few decorative pieces that I had kind of forgotten about or pulled from others' things, I think that will work to fill it up and make that space complete. So that's on the to-do for Monday. So that's all I've got. I hope you guys enjoyed this. There's something from it. And yeah, we will see where the rest of the week goes. I have to get some designing done, and I've got some office-y things, you know, like the things to do. And then I also have some crafty projects. I also have Christmas shopping to do this week. So, and then some wrapping, all the good things. So, I do plan on doing some more topper things like this because I'm going to make a few gifts for some friends and giving over the season for on the top of a jar. I like the idea of making like a soup mix or a dip mix or brownies in a jar and then doing a little topper like this and gifting it. So I'm going to try and get a few of those things done. I have some ideas. So we will see where the week takes us. I hope everybody who is watching these a lot of you have told me, reached out, all the things when I ran into you at the Jingle Ball said that you're enjoying watching along. So thank you. And yeah, let's see what we can get up to this week. Until the next one, happy stitching everyone, or crafting, or whatever it is that you're filling your time with. I hope you're well, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.